guys, G-Man here, coming at ya from somewhere in the last best place. Okay, so we've got the drink. Oh, check. We got the vape. Check. Nice hair. New nice threads. Check. I better shut the door. I don't think the family wants to hear this one. All right. First, just a couple of quick announcements. We've finally got a few subscribers, so salute to you guys. Thank you for the support. We've got an intro and an outro, as you'll see. Did it myself. And I'm not really a tech-savvy guy, so I'm proud of that. Also, I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. And I hope you all have a Happy New Year. Okay, so today we're going to talk about why methadone worked and works better for me than Suboxone. And we're going to talk about a few of the differences in those treatments, okay? For me, Suboxone or buprenorphine, right? Or buprenorphine, however you say it, it would work for physical withdrawal, meaning it would take away the sickness, the physical sickness, but it wouldn't do anything for cravings. And it wouldn't make me feel high. So it didn't work for me, right? Because for me, getting dope sick and getting over dope sickness, that's the easy part, right? The hard part is combating the cravings and the desire to use. That's what I always struggled with. I always hear junkies in Hollywood, or even like to some extent in mainstream recovery media, like the A&E show Intervention, right? I'll hear junkies say, man, I would quit doing this shit if the sickness wasn't so bad, if I didn't get so fucking sick, right? Well, you know, for me, that almost seems kind of like a load of malarkey, because yeah, the sickness does get bad, right? It really does, and it is very annoying, especially when you've got a job to work or a family to raise or whatever it is you're doing, right? It's almost like it's like getting a bad flu for a lot of people, right? But for me, that was never the hard part. I could like have some revelation. Like one time I got punked for like 120 bucks, right? It was like either give up the money or a bunch of dudes were going to come to my family's crib and probably fuck me off and probably fuck up my family's crib, right? So I had to bitch out and cough up the money. But like I had, you know, that happened and I had a revelation, oh, I got to quit doing this shit, and I stopped doing it, and like 8 days later I wasn't dope sick very much anymore to really any noticeable degree. But that, again, that was not the hard part for me. The hard part for me is getting over the mental cravings, right? Cravings. That's the hard part for me. Again, I don't want to generalize my experience as your experience or as your loved one's experience or whatever. Okay. So yes, the reason I chose methadone over Suboxone was because I knew that it wouldn't do anything for the cravings, right? Okay. Next point, and this is a positive for Suboxone over methadone. Suboxone is much less regulated than methadone. Methadone is a Schedule II drug, which is about as high as they get for anything you can get from a doctor, right? Because a doctor can't prescribe you Schedule I, except for weed, but, you know, whatever. So methadone is a Schedule II, and I think, I could be wrong, but I think on its own, buprenorphine is also a Schedule II, but when in a formulation with naloxone, it's a Schedule III. So it's much less regulated. Like if you go to a clinic, a lot of clinics offer methadone and Suboxone. And if you go with Suboxone, you can get your privileges much faster, which means they'll give you some to take at home much faster than they do with methadone, right? At my clinic, to get privileges on methadone, you have to have no absences, no missed payments, and no dirty urine, I think, for 3 or 6 months. I think the first privilege bump might actually be 6 months. Every additional bump after that is 3 months. But with Suboxone, we're talking like in 2 weeks, you can get take-homes, right? And everybody loves take-homes because, one, you don't have to go to the clinic because, trust me, you want to go there as little as possible, man. Like, it's just, you know, I'm blessed. The clinic that I go to, it's very clean. The staff is very professional. I would tell you which company it is because they've got clinics all over the U.S., but I don't want to identify too much about who I am and where I'm at, just because of the subject matter that we cover here on Reflections of a Junkie. So a positive for subs over methadone is subs are much less regulated. Okay. For me, I went with methadone because I knew better. I knew if I got on subs, it really wouldn't do much for me in terms of cravings, which is what I've struggled with. But if you're a person where the cravings aren't really a thing, I mean, I don't even know if that exists in the junkie world, right? That's kind of what makes us junkies, right? The cravings, the Jones, right? I'm Jones and Dad. But if you are the kind of person where the physical sickness is what you fear more than having to deal with cravings, then I think Suboxone would be a good choice for you. Let's see, what are some other differences? Methadone is a full agonist. Full agonist means that it works on your body the same way heroin or morphine or fentanyl or oxy or fill in the blank opiate works for the most part. Hits the same receptors, the same mechanism of action. It affects your brain chemistry the same way heroin does. Now, Suboxone, that's what's called a partial agonist. I'm not Bill Nye, so I can't really tell you exactly what a partial agonist is, but I've got a strong hankering that that's why it doesn't work so well for cravings for everyone. If you can make it on Suboxone, it's something to think about. Here's a pro for methadone. Methadone is dirt cheap. In fact, if you can get methadone without having to go to a clinic, which, I mean, you can't even legally do if you're taking methadone for maintenance purposes. By law, by federal law, if you're taking methadone for maintenance purposes, you need to go to a licensed, you know, there's an organization called like MSHA or something like that, or I'll have to look at on the wall at my clinic again next time I go, but you know, it has to be a licensed recovery type facility to get methadone for maintenance. Now, you can get methadone prescribed for pain, but you're not going to get it in the dose that you need if you're taking it for maintenance purposes, okay? But we're talking about cost. Methadone is dirt cheap. I mean, we're talking, it's cheap. It's like your average dose costs like 2 cents to make or something like that. I mean, it's cheap. Suboxone, not so much. Like where I go, the methadone people pay one flat rate, no matter if you're taking 10 milligrams or 300 milligrams, you're paying the same flat rate of 80 bucks a week, right? But if you're on Suboxone, they base it on your dose. And some of those people, man, I remember looking at the chart back in the day. Some people, I don't remember the exact breakdown, but some of those people are paying like a lot, right? Like 160 something bucks a week. And I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Although it would be one hell of a tax write-off, I'll tell you that much. So cost, definitely a pro in the Done corner, right? I can't answer you on what's better for you, but I will say that if you're somebody who doesn't have an issue with cravings and it's truly just the sickness that's keeping you on, try to roll sub. If you're worried about cravings and the sickness ain't really a thing to you, roll Done. So, yeah, guys, I hope that helped. Merry Christmas. I wanted to get a video out to you guys before the new year. So here it is. That was the differences, some differences between methadone and Suboxone. Thank you guys. Have a great night. Happy New Year. Like and subscribe. Shoot me a comment. Haters welcome. G-Man logging out.